Welcome to BamBam.
BamBam-O-Rama, BamBam-O-Rama,
Welcome
BamBam-O-Rama.
to the BamBam-O-Rama podcast. I'm your host, Jackson Grist.
And I'm taking over. I'm your captain now, Adrian Estrada.
Dang it!
Got him. He tried to pull a fast one. We got him, folks.
I did. He stole it. What is it called? Mutiny.
We hit 200 followers.
We
Or
did
subscribers, rather.
We did hit 200 subs.
But the hope was we could make a push to get to 500 by the end of the year, you know?
I think though, you know, as we referenced Mafia Wars, the first time we talked about it, the first 100 was the hardest, right?
Yeah.
Because I think, correct me if I'm wrong, our first 100, like we did that episode back in February, right? January, February, like earlier this year.
Yes.
And we've already gained 100 more, a little over 100 more since that episode. So, I mean, who's to say we couldn't have 500 by the end of the year?
Me. No. Well, I mean, part of it is I'm going just off of, you know, analytics, which is generic in a sense.
Right.
Because it's just tracking the trend. It doesn't track possibility. And you
Right.
can make your own possibility, right? So we could double down and get back into advertising, and that might shoot us through the roof all of a sudden now.
It could be. I know that our YouTube channel has some of our videos performed really well off of pushing Instagram posts. And I think, honestly, I could be wrong. I think that proved to be more successful than pushing the actual YouTube video.
Facebook was the most important one that we did, advertising. Didn't we get a lot out of that one?
I only pushed on the WrestleMania video with Michelle. I just pushed the Instagram post, and we got like 100 views on it on Instagram in 4 days.
Our website's gone up in traffic too, which is part of it. So that's a good thing.
I hope it's safe out there. Traffic in Midland is dangerous.
You said we got to make content people want.
Yeah, that was a content for all the dads out there.
Get off our channel.
We had a lot. We had 5 dads on our channel 2 weeks ago.
What are they? Who? All 5?
All 5. It was Chris, Tokyo,
Why'd you say it so aggressively?
the quiet long-haired guy.
Isaiah?
No, the quiet long-haired guy that sat in the back.
Oh, that guy?
Yeah,
Chad?
Cecil, and Isaiah. Thank you for telling me Isaiah's name. I was avoiding going to that one because I was like, okay, 2 of their names I can't remember.
You're going to have to cut all of this.
Nope, I'm leaving it in. I'm going to clip it. I'm going to send it to them. And they're probably going to share it. 'Cause that's what they do.
Yeah, so please go watch that episode. It's actually a really fun one. We got a lot of good clips out of it.
That was a really good episode.
We are working on doing better with clips from the newer episodes of things. And that's helped a lot too.
I think clipping our stuff and putting it on.
I made
Reels and
so
TikToks
many
and shorts.
clips. I will tell everybody out there that CapCut is worth it. But there's Powder. Powder's a free kind of version of CapCut. It doesn't do all the fancy captions, but it will make 60-second clips for you. And they don't charge you if you're not making money, essentially. So that one was pretty cool. So I've been trying to use that one again since CapCut.
Is that the one we used first?
Yeah.
I couldn't remember the name of it.
Powder.
There was a movie about it, right?
Yeah.
The guy was albino.
Yeah, he runs and then he gets zapped, and then all of a sudden you can export all of your files after the zapping.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. And then he becomes the Boondock Saint.
Was he one of the Boondock Saints? I didn't realize that.
Because Jeff Goldblum told him to.
I wish Jeff Goldblum would tell me to do something.
I wish Jeff Goldblum was my math teacher. You know what I mean? And then I powdered into nothing. Sometimes I just want to run into a field with my shirt ripped open.
Why do I picture when you say I powdered? I picture like no you like as a no.
I wish I had baby powder or something like I could have puffed.
I pictured you as a container of baby powder. Like you're just talking to people while people are powdering. You're like, hey man, those feet stink. This is not going to help with that rash.
So that's more of like a Rick and Morty cut too.
Right, yeah. We have had ideas where you are playing a CGI inanimate object that talks.
Mm-hmm.
A few different ones.
Yeah, I just need to take the time to make some puppets or hire someone to.
Anyone out there make puppets? Not real. Well, I want real ones. I want Muppets. I want Muppets
Of us?
Yes.
Yeah.
I really do.
We can try to make some.
Like if we ever get big enough, like if Disney is like, hey, we want to do something with you guys, I'd be like, the only thing I want to do. No, that's not true. Because they got Star Wars too. I wasn't say the only thing I want to do is Muppets, but like Muppets would be oddly enough number one.
When Jason Segel made the thing, I was like, you son of a
right. So lucky. Like, and he never said it officially. There's the Dracula, one of the 4 Dracula Muppets that was used at the end of Forgetting Sarah Marshall went missing.
Oh, he took it. Huh?
Yeah, he
Probably did.
had
I probably
to.
would have
Like,
too if I had something like that.
dude, I would. I wouldn't even care. Like Disney, sue me.
That's a really cool thing to have.
Right? But no, I think that would be that would be a number one thing. Honestly, we ever get to do like dream something. I know I love horror movies. I know I love Star Wars. I know I love comic book movies. Sure, I would love to do all that stuff. Number one thing, let me do something with the Muppets. 100%.
Yeah. Yeah, I would love to be in some sort of Muppet. I would like to do like the Muppet caper over, you know. Like,
They tried to do that Muppets Most Wanted. It wasn't, hate to say
but who was in it?
Huh?
Who was in it?
I don't know. I don't remember. Gonna be honest. It wasn't Jason Segel.
Yeah.
Segel?
Yeah, I don't know either. So I just said Segel or whatever I said.
Who was in that one?
I don't know.
You don't know? Oh, I thought you knew.
No, I was asking.
I don't remember.
Because that's a make or break type situation, you know, like who's in it.
That might have just been the Muppets.
Oh,
And I wonder if that's why.
I would watch it if it's only the Muppets. But there's always a human, isn't there? No, but still,
It just depends.
there's kind of
No,
like
no.
extras that are human.
Ricky Gervais.
Oh,
And
I'm gonna go watch it then.
Ty Burrell and Tina Fey. You want to see the poster?
Who was it though? Who's Tina Fey and who?
Ty Burrell?
Ty Burrell. Oh, okay. Yeah, I've never. I like all 3 of those actors.
I do too. I don't remember. I'll be honest. I wasn't sober when I watched it.
Oh.
So.
Well, now I've got some homework to do. Speaking of, we need to actually like cinch down. Okay, so
Sorry.
let's get back to some of the where we were, right? So there is potential to somehow make 500 happen. But I think there's about 125 days, 130 days, something like that left in the year.
Right. So we need 2 subscribers per day on average.
Right.
And so how do we do that? We start posting only friends content, right?
No.
Oh.
No, we definitely don't do that.
What do you do? Why don't you
We're going to
tell us?
steal the deck. Oh, wait, no.
The declaration of, I mean,
I would say it out loud, but I don't want to get like on a list. You know? So getting back to it. So we've got the still the mentality of we can do it. We just need to figure out a game plan. Stat. And if you have suggestions, please leave them in the comments. Other than that, we need to figure out game plans for this, our next phases of filming in general. Because one thing I'm finding is like all of the festivals right now are the deadlines. So if we've got any hope of making the next festival, we've got to start filming now type shit on a lot of our ideas. Whether it's our next fake trailer for Texas Frightmare Weekend, whether it's the short features that we've got in mind that we want to start trying to get out there in the world, etc.
I think we realistically could. There's a short we've been talking about for a very long time. I think we could realistically plan that one and have it film
In the room?
at the end of the year or beginning of the year, and have that edited and ready for submission next festival season. I really think we could.
Sure. That involves cleaning that thing out and all sorts of crazy stuff for a while.
That's what I'm saying. It's going to take some planning.
Yeah.
Also, someone, because that stars you.
Mm.
It's going to take someone more than me running. I don't think I need to hold the camera for that. I'm going to be honest.
I would really like to find a true camera person.
Yeah. We'll figure that one out. But I honestly do. I think we could film that at the end of the year or beginning of the year. And that's also up to you. That's going to be, well, no, the coldest months are like January and February around here. So we could do it in December potentially and it not be freezing out in that room. And your wardrobe, I don't know, maybe they would add to it being in the cold.
I'm kind of okay with it.
Yeah. We'll think about, that's maybe more planning that I don't know, we should do in front of these guys.
It gets down to, what's the real plan? And I think that might be part of what's the plan with, recording a feature and this and that, because by the time we release our next anything like that, Terry's going to go on YouTube in my head. I don't know about you.
I don't know. I'm not arguing with you. We got to figure out the amount of blood I know that Terry's not a lot of blood, so we got to figure out the amount of blood that is allowed on YouTube. I think it's fine.
We don't do any splattering of it either, which is a big deal.
Yeah, that's true.
I do crawl through it.
But I think no, I agree with you. I think it is fine.
Because what's the future of YouTube, right? Like the Ryan kid is getting a movie now, right?
Who's the Ryan kid?
The one that unboxes stuff.
Oh, that kid, Ryan's World.
Yeah.
He's getting a movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
I
know, yeah,
not just him. Like a couple of people are
I'm sure.
doing movie things now on YouTube, straight to YouTube type stuff, and theatrical release.
Theatrical release too.
I don't know about Ryan, but maybe they said he was.
I don't know what's going on with them. I know they make toys.
So YouTube's going to be changing a lot anyway. Are they going to be allowing more movies? And then what's that going to look like for the channel? Like, do you have a new tab that's features, which would be really cool. Even like in the film world, just having been diving into it through all of this, there's a lot of conversation about how, I forgot what the stat is, but from like 2022 till now, a significant drop in films being made is happening.
Oh, definitely.
So
definitely.
It's not just the COVID thing, like it's still happening after that.
Well, it's a lot of that. And also you've probably looked at the stats more than I have. My question is it that there are actually less movies being made, or just more movies being made by like Hulu and Netflix and just being released on Hulu and Netflix instead of in the theaters?
I can't think of anything to support one way or another.
And I'm not saying this isn't an argument against that. I know that there's been a lot of discussion in some of the podcasts I listened to that the world of comedies is streaming for the most part. Comedies aren't being put in movie theaters right now. And that's why it definitely looks, if you're just looking for, previews of what's going to be in the theaters, you're probably going to not notice all the comedies that are coming out because most of them are going to streaming services.
I'll have to look that one up to figure it out.
I do think that some of those deals too, and I could be wrong, I think places like Netflix and Hulu and Max now, right? It's no longer HBO. Is HBO completely gone? Or is it just separate from the app now? Like an HBO's back on I think they give the directors and producers more freedom to make the film they want to make, as opposed to if you get picked up by Universal to make a theatrical release, a lot of the times they're like, you got this table of execs you got to make happy with your movie. Unless you're like a Spielberg or a Scorsese, then you can do whatever the hell you want. I think that's why Adam Sandler's got that deal with Netflix.
Yeah, I'd be curious to know what the contracts look like and stuff.
Yeah.
I wonder if Netflix approached him or if he had an idea and pitched them, et cetera, et cetera.
I don't know. All I know is every Happy Madison movie since Pixels, I'm not sure, maybe there's others, has seemed to have gone straight to Netflix.
Yeah.
Granted, he is making Happy Gilmore 2. I bet that comes out in theaters.
I don't know.
Unless there's that deal with Netflix and Netflix is like, no. But I think you think Netflix would start making theatrical releases even though they're obviously always pushing their streaming service?
That's a tough call. I mean, part of the reason people don't do that is because it's a gamble, right, to put your stuff out there.
Right.
And then if it bombs, it's not just the loss of money. Your reputation is marred. You know what I mean?
It's hard. I mean, I know you can argue that it's also not hard.
We're getting a Pop-Tart movie.
I saw that. You sent me that, right? There's a Pop-Tart about the guy when I first saw that Pop-Tart movie, I was like, the first thing that popped in my head before I watched the rest of it watched the rest of that clip was like CGI Pop-Tarts with like that talked and like walked around, and I was like
the commercials.
Yeah, like the commercials. And
I
then,
want that.
And then it's the story of the guy who invented Pop-Tarts.
I don't even think it's the real one. I think it's a fake story.
It's a fake story about that, really? I mean, it is a bunch of comedians in there, so honestly, it definitely could be.
Yeah, I think there's like,
or at least that I saw
a giant
in the trailer,
commercial.
So yeah,
which is what movies are now. They're just giant commercials.
Right.
I'm just saying that it's stupid that we still participate in this machine of Hollywood when we could embrace YouTube so much more.
I agree.
Stop subscribing to things altogether. If we all just literally jump ship to YouTube
and subscribe to BamBam-O-Rama.
If we could have something change for the good in media, it would be that we don't deal with the distribution of things. Because that's really all it is. That's what the problem is, that it's expensive as fuck to get your movie out there and have to advertise to show, because nobody knows that it's out there and stuff like that.
Well, it's one of the things too. Like I sat down, especially when we started this venture, and I was like, what kind of push can I viably give myself for Jackson's Lost Cause? And I was like, if I DIY another album, like what does OK Go do? Because they're like one of the most successful DIY bands right now. Granted, I don't think they started out that way. I think they started out with a label. But like I was like, what if I wanted to go that route? And I was like, man, I would spend probably $1 million in marketing.
Yeah.
Just by myself in hopes that I would make a little over $1 million back. And you're probably not going to. And that's also not what it would cost to hire the band and get the album recorded and mixed. So like, yeah, it's...
Which I would argue that Taylor Swift is the most successful DIY.
Now, definitely, yes. Currently, you're right.
And she is self-funding that stuff.
Right now she is. She made a lot of money prior to doing that, which I guess OK Go did as well on their smaller level too. But yeah, to start it without already having that backing is I guess what's even more scary. So I don't know, it's tough. But I think, and I'm sorry, I was saying all that to also validate the point that I think just distribution is one of the biggest problems. Because even though it's DIY people, they got people distributing their records.
Yeah, they're hiring someone.
They're hiring someone to do it, but I'm sure that distribution's taking a lot bigger of a cut than they really need to. I would imagine. We also had an indie filmmaker on last year that talked about how one of the things that hurt his movie was distribution.
Yeah. Maybe that's who you need to talk to. It's not the same thing, but it is relative.
It is relative. Maybe I should talk to him about that. I definitely need to see if I can get at least poke the bear about getting Jackson's Lost Cause on the next soundtrack, right?
I already poked that bear.
Oh, you did?
With Esau.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, of course, right. Drop your name 1,000 times, and I've been asking for a new album for how long now?
Dude.
I'm calling you out.
You're calling me out? Okay. When are you going to let me have my artistic process?
When are you going to stop making excuses?
I don't have time to do shit.
You don't have time for excuses.
I don't. No, I've been meaning to get in here and write some stuff. I have subject matter that I want to get in here and write on. It's difficult to get here.
Juggling a life is part of it. Even whenever we were younger and could still write freely, it was a lot harder to write than people think.
There is also, I do have to say this, and I don't know what to do about this. And so if anyone out there has any advice on this, and obviously you too, I have an album recorded, a full-length album that I recorded almost 10 years ago.
I recall, yeah.
The engineer that recorded it, I believe, from what I understand, has sold his half of the studio it was recorded at. So I don't even know if those tracks exist anymore. So I guess I just need to sit down and email him and email the studio and be like, hey, do these exist? Do I need to re-record?
Did you pay for them?
I did. Well, I paid for the recording of them, and we were working through, because it was recording, and then there was a couple hours put down on the mixing of it, but we didn't get full into the...
What did you pay for?
The recording of it. And
but you did pay for that.
I paid for that, the recording of it. So we were getting into the mixing.
But that's not what you're looking for. You just want the recordings.
Right, yeah, and then I'll just send them to someone to get mixed. No, and I mean, they're not being shitty about it or anything. It's just we lost contact, and like I said, I think from what it looks like, the engineer sold his half of the studio. So I don't know if they're on a hard drive that he has. I don't know if they're on a hard drive at the studio. I don't know if they, like I said, exist anymore.
Yeah.
Granted, I do think I was the last one to reach out for contact and was just waiting for reach back, as some of us with anxiety have an issue of looking and saying, oh, I sent a thing. I just need them to respond now. You know, it's fun. It's fun having anxiety. Also, if you have a studio, actually, no, there's a guy, Scott Ferris, who we should get on the podcast, has a studio in Lubbock. I'm sure he would love to help me out. Let us know what content you would like to see from us, the content that we already make that you do enjoy. Give us suggestions on how to make them better. Also, if there's just something you've seen that you are into, like reaction videos, we could make a reaction video. Twitch streams Wednesday morning, Thursday nights.
Did you know that the story of Jackson's Lost Cause is on Amazon now?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Did
It
you know
is.
that it's on IMDb and that you're officially an actor?
Go watch Jackson's Lost Cause on. You can watch it on both Amazon and YouTube, correct?
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah, we can take it down off YouTube if you like, but
I think we can leave it up there.
if you feel like giving us $1, it's cool. If not, we understand. But if you do, please leave a rating on Amazon. That would help that one actually get pushed to more people.
Yeah. Also, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch and Twitter.
Yeah, there's one post. We love you.
Love y'all.